Welcome to NEET Bio Decoded. Here is another revision question for you from the chapter Biotechnology. Which one of the following statement accurately describes a scientifically established benefit of GM crops, genetically modified crops? Now, if you look at the options, let's read it one by one. GM crops have been engineered to withstand all forms of abiotic stress, including extreme temperature, drought, and soil salinity, ensuring consistent yield under any environmental condition. Okay, looks like it is correct. One more answer is a key advantage of GM technology is its ability to entirely replace the need for chemical pesticides and fertilizers, making agriculture fully independent of external inputs. Let's look at the next option. One of the success of genetic modification is the enhancement of the nutritional profile of certain crops such as golden rice, which has been biofortified with provitamin A to combat vitamin A deficiency. Okay, looks like this is also correct. Now let's look at the next option. Genetic modification has been primarily used to improve aesthetic appeal of the crops, such as enhancing fruit size, color, shelf life, making them more marketable without altering their nutritional content. So all the four options, they look almost correct. But what we have to do is we have to pick the most accurate one. So if we analyze in this perspective, we have to understand that the GM crops cannot withstand all abiotic stresses. Of course, it can withstand stress to a certain level, abiotic stress to a certain level. And for example, if you're putting banana plant in a GM banana plant in a polar region, we can't expect it to grow, right? So logically, this statement is wrong. Even though we make a genetically modified banana, it cannot survive without a favorable condition. Okay, so this is wrong. A key advantage of GM technology is its ability to entirely replace the need for chemical pesticides and fertilizers, making agriculture fully independent of external inputs. So whatever GM modification that we are doing, it is mostly crop specific. It is very species specific. So we cannot completely promise that the entire agriculture will be independent of external inputs. So this is also wrong. And one of the success of genetic modification is the enhancement of nutritional profile of certain crops, such as golden rice, which has been biofortified with provitamin A to combat vitamin A. Yeah, because this is just one of the success of genetic modification. So that is right. And it is completely true that the fortification of vitamin A is done with the golden rice. So this is correct. Let's also check with option D. Genetic modification has primarily been used to improve the aesthetic appeal. That is how a crop looks and how the size of the fruit or vegetable lies. What's the color? What's the shelf life? Shelf life, of course, it is a concerning factor for the market, but this is not the only goal of genetic modification. So this has not been only primarily used to improve the aesthetic appeal. So in that way, we can eliminate option D also. In that case, option C is correct. Such statement questions appear in NEET exams so that the candidates will have to spend so much time on this. But if you're logically correct at the time of the examination and you are able to think really quick, such answers can give you more marks, and you can also save a lot of time instead of getting confused. Hope your preparation is at full swing. I'll meet you with the next question.